Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tune. Today I am working on a RSX, and this car has a turbo kit on it that I'm trying to work out some kinks with, and am having quite a difficult time, honestly. So I figured I would just make a video. I told you guys I was going to maybe try to start filming every day. We'll see how long it lasts, but I did want to kind of give you an update of what I've done today. And today's just been kind of one of them days where nothing goes my way, but you know, that's just all part of the job, I suppose. So to start off, this car did get brought into the shop to get a couple things done. He needed the intake air temp sensor welded into his intercooler pipe, which I actually got done. A21 Bravo helped me out with that job, and did a very good job. Honestly, A21 Bravo can TIG weld like a beast. So he put the intake air temp sensor in here. Welding looks amazing. As you guys know, I don't really have a TIG welder. I'm not really a fabricator. I have my MIG welder, which I do literally 95% of the stuff I do is all MIG welded. And I'm not really a big TIG welder. But this car did come with a lot of bits and pieces when he dropped it off. He had all the intercooler piping already plumbed up, so I just drilled a hole, figured out what spot we needed to put the intake air temp sensor. And this is like an adapter thing from Fuel Lab, I believe, or no, it's from K-Tuned. So K-Tuned sells this adapter, which pretty much just takes the plastic intake air temp sensor, so it takes the regular factory sensor and places it into a bung with an O-ring that all seals it all together, and that uses the lip on the factory sensor to be able to clamp together. So we did get that installed and done. The next step on the list was to get a downpipe figured out for this car. So this kit, I don't know exactly what turbo kit it is. It kind of appears to be like a CX Racing style kit, but then again, I'm not sure because nothing is really labeled CX Racing. This turbo doesn't really have a brand on it at all. And the intercooler does not have a brand on it. The wastegate is a tile, and the Sidewinder manifold here is unknown as well. Like I said, it could be a CX Racing kit, but I'm not sure. So to get a downpipe on this thing, I'm just kind of trying to maybe figure out a way to route the piping. All right, guys, I really don't know where I left off. We had a dyno tune that I tried to film some stuff. I had been working on this RSX quite a bit, and I tried to film some more stuff with it, and then my camera died, so now I'm using my old one. But I did get a lot of stuff done on the RSX here, and before I am filming this clip, I actually got a couple clips of a truck that I tuned the other day. It was an 87 Chevy two-wheel drive pickup truck, and it had a 5.3 with a Howard's Rattler cam in it, and man, that thing was a lot of fun. It took a little bit of finesse and tuning to get the thing to idle, but once we got it idled, I converted it over to speed density. It seems to run a lot better with speed density than running through the math, but that truck was a lot of fun, and it sounds pretty wicked. Let me just tell you, it is a raunchy, lopey cam, if I can say so. So hopefully you guys enjoy the clips of that pickup truck quick, and then we'll get back to some recap stuff on what's all been going on and what's really been going on with me. And I just, got a lot of stuff going on, and I don't know what direction to go. responding to it, you know what I mean?
It sounds nasty. Sounds like it's doing healthy.
All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the little clips of the truck there. It laid down like 340 horsepower. Did really good. So he's super happy. We did a lot of tuning on that thing in a few hours. So the idling, we had a bunch of issues with. I did a lot of idle airflow adjustments. And then the startup airflow was also another issue where I could key the truck on and go to start it, but it would not actually start unless you gave it gas. You'd have to give it throttle in order for it to start. Once it was started and the computer realized what was going on, it would idle, but I had to fix a lot of that stuff to get it to run and actually start with the key without hitting the throttle. So got that thing done, made some great power, and he's super happy. We had to play with a bunch of gearing for the speedometer so it would shift properly. We took it out on the road. Should have filmed a lot of this. I really should have filmed a lot of this, and I really should have filmed a lot of what I did with this frickin' K-Series car, guys, because, man, did we do a lot of work on this thing. As you guys can see, it has an exhaust now. It has an up pipe that I built the other day, so that is really cool. Obviously, I heat wrapped it because it's really close to all the brake lines and all the stuff back there. I had to clearance a lot of that stuff and, you know, zip tie some stuff out of the way, eliminate some brackets in order to fit this up pipe. We got the intake temp sensor, which I showed you in the beginning of the video. We also got, we had an intake leak. We had a really big vacuum leak, and it was coming from this K-tuned throttle body adapter. The gasket that was provided was actually, there was a little gap in the corner for the idle motor, and it was just leaking there. So I found that leak, I got rid of the gasket, and I just RTV'd it. And now we don't have any intake leaks, so the car is running a lot better. Had it on the dyno a little bit earlier, and we definitely have to get some spark plugs in this thing because it still has a factory 7 heat range plugs in it, and we also have to get it tuned on E85. But I eliminated the boost controller, did some small tuning on it just to kind of see, like, you know, feel the car out, make sure everything was good. We had a speedo issue as well. So the vehicle speed sensor wiring was not pinned properly, and the wires were kind of just hanging out because there's no actual like speedometer plug on the thing. It's just pinned into the sensor. So I had to fix that, verify the wiring. Thanks to Honda Street Garage, Mark, he actually gave me a wiring diagram for this thing to figure out what pins went where, and I pinned them, and now the speedometer is working. Like I said, a whole bunch of other little issues with this car. We did fab a dump tube as well. So the dump tube just goes down and then the up pipe goes up. I still have to cut a hole in the hood for the exhaust. I don't know what the hell else I did. Oh, another really annoying thing with this car, and I really should have, I should have filmed 1,000 things, and I didn't film a damn thing. And I don't know what to say other than I'm sorry, and, you know, this fucking channel would be a lot better if I would film shit. Like, it sucks. It really sucks. And I'm sorry, guys. I've just been like, I just work. And I work and I work and I work. And that's all I try to do. And when I'm trying to film, especially with like customers here and all that kind of stuff, it's just not on my forte. I don't like whipping a camera out in front of people. It's just, I don't know if I'm embarrassed by it or if I feel like I'm intruding on their privacy. It's really hard for me to whip out a camera and be normal like I am right now when there's somebody else here. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like a friend of mine or something like that, then I don't mind. But if it's, I don't know. If it's a customer and I don't know them, I really hate whipping the camera out, and I really hate, it just seems awkward to me, still, to this day. I don't know why. I gotta get better at it. Yeah. And even if the customer says like, oh yeah, it's no problem, you can film all you want, whatever, I'll whip the camera out and start talking, and I just get awkward, and I don't talk straight, and I don't talk normal like I am right now. So I got to work on that. I really got to work on that, and I need to realize that a lot of these customers probably, you know, are coming to me from YouTube, from these videos. So, yeah, I don't know. Blabbing. That's all this fucking video is me talking bullshit. Anyways, another really annoying thing with this car that we dealt with for a whole day is the battery went dead. Oh, by the way, I also made a battery bracket for this thing. So now the battery is actually tied down. I actually had this little battery bracket from a Civic that I got in there and I made work. The battery's nice and tight. All the connections are good. This connection didn't actually have a clamp on, or a bolt to tighten it down, so I fixed that. Which reminds me, I still have to tape up some of this stuff here because this positive terminal is really close to the, the engine bay. So I gotta at least put some tape on that or something so it doesn't touch anything. Yeah, I don't know what it is lately, guys. I've just been, yeah. You guys can see here, another awesome thing I could have filmed is I picked up this Mustang yesterday for $500. $550 actually. But yeah, so I picked up another new Edge Mustang just cause it was a super good deal, and this car is super clean, other than a couple little scrapes and stuff that could be easily, sanded down and painted to get fixed. But as you guys can see, this is a super clean new Edge Mustang. It's a V6, has fucking brand new tires, and it has converters on it still. So I figured, what the hell, I could scrap the converters and sell the tires and make my money back. So this car, oh yeah, another thing I could have filmed, took Barney out just to go drive it on the street and see how it was compared to the dyno. Obviously it's going to be a little bit different when you're on the street versus on the dyno, and holy shit, let me tell you guys, this thing does need some cleanup on the street. It's such a radical setup, it's such a bitch to drive on the road. It's got drag suspension and twin disc clutch and super sensitive throttle. I got to work out some of that stuff too. So this, I took it out on the road and it died because the Neptune in the ECU, the demon board, actually popped out of the socket, and I could not fix it because I didn't have a screwdriver on me. So I got a ride from like 2 random chicks that picked me up on the side of the road and brought me back to the shop, thank God. And there's good people in the world. They brought me back, and I grabbed my enclosed trailer and I chucked the Civic in the trailer, and all I needed was a fucking Phillips screwdriver, and I didn't have one because I could have just popped the Demon back into the ECU. But yeah, that didn't happen either. So I got the Civic back. It's all good now, but I really got to put some miles on this thing on the street and just get all the tune just perfected so we can go and rip this thing. But man, does this thing need a lot of work too. It's locked right now, but I mean, this car needs a cage. It needs freaking seats. It needs seat belts. I don't have seats or nothing. I don't got a cage, which it doesn't need a cage right now, but it needs a seat for sure, and it needs seat belts. That is one thing that I need to do, and just clean up some of the wiring and mount the ECU so I'm not even fucking filming myself. Mount the ECU so it's not rattling around everywhere. I got to do that. I got to wire just clean up the wiring so it's tidy. And then the Mustang just sitting here in the corner. Yeah, I am debating on what I'm going to do with this car. I would like to keep it, obviously, because it's pretty much ready to go, and I got some suspension parts for it, but I've just had no time or motivation to work on anything of my own, and it really bugs me. And tonight I kind of just realized, because today I kind of was at a standstill because none of the parts stores had spark plugs for the RSX. I actually have to wait for those to come in because they're the Iridium spark plugs. I had a little bit of time to myself today just because, I don't know, I'm ignoring people for a day or two because my phone doesn't stop, and I'm just stressed, guys. And part of this is I really just want to get my cars running, and I really want to get my Civic done so it's good to go and I can just load it in the frickin' trailer and go racing. Like, I got to do that at least. The new Edge here has some issues too. I filled the bottle up with nitrous and it still is like fading away. So like you'll stab into the throttle, it'll be like 12.5 air fuel. It'll pull really hard for like 4 or 5 seconds and then it just dives rich. I don't know what the issue is. If I'm losing bottle pressure, I even had the bottle pressure upwards of 950 to 1,000 PSI of bottle pressure before I did the hit, and it still only stays on for like 4 or 5 seconds. Yeah. I feel like all this fucking I feel like all my channel is fucking me talking and babbling, and it bugs the shit out of me. And I'm sorry, guys. I really wish I could be more entertaining, but I'm just not. Oh well. Yeah. So here's my new edge, old new edge. Like I said, I gotta maybe slim. I say this all the time, and I also, sorry, I'm all over the place. The truck outside, my new tow truck, or my new tow rig, I got a bunch of stuff for it in the mail too. I'm redoing the fuel system because it has a couple leaking fuel lines that I'm going to do. It has, I got a cam for it. I have a set of heads with dual valve springs I'm going to put on it. I got to get some lifters for it yet, and I have to, I got a new radiator because the current radiator leaks. I got an aluminum radiator for it. I got a bunch of little things for the truck that I'm really excited about. I got all brand new AN hose and AN line to run the fuel lines. I got a Wally 525 pump for it. I'd like to maybe boost it if I put the cam in and new lifters and stuff. The oil pressure, if the oil pressure goes up, because the oil pressure is a little low on that motor. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. This is like totally just me blabbing. But I would like to possibly keep this car maybe. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to keep it. But it'd be easy to keep this thing. It needs a freaking bumper that I need to buy to clean it up a little bit so it's not broken and shit because the bumper's broke. And I want to get some fender flares for it to cover up my cut fenders in the back. I want to do that and then maybe just spray the car black to get rid of the clear coat and stuff. And this car would really probably clean up pretty well. But in other hand, I kind of want to start over. Like, this car is good, it works, I'm just not digging it anymore. I've had it for a while, and I'm kind of sick of it. I don't know why, but I don't know. If somebody came with like $8,000, they could take this car. It's 920 at 151 mile an hour it went. And then I could maybe use the money from selling that into building a monster and do this car, because I think that'd be a lot of fun, and it'd be a good fresh start for me. But then again, I'm too busy to even work on shit of my own. See my problem, guys? I really want to work on my own shit, but it's tough trying to make everybody happy and myself happy at the same time. So I guess I am being a little bit selfish with, you know, whatever. There's just not enough time in the day to do everything I want, and I have to pick and choose my battles wisely. So, what else here? So this thing I would really like to do full K-member, tubular front suspension, because they can, UPR sells a kit that's like everything you need. The K-member, the arms, coilovers, you name it. And then you can just plop the LS in, and I could put a built 8.8 rear in it and be good to go. And then a drive shaft and whatever else. Weld the torque boxes, use my suspension that I bought for the Fox for this maybe, because I think they're all the same. I got the relocated uppers, which I don't know if the uppers will work on here. They might. They're the relocated ones, like I was saying. I bet you they'd work. I don't know. Hard to say. And then I need a roll bar for this one, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. And then maybe sell the new Edge, because I don't really need this car now that I got that one. And I like that one better than this one. I don't know. $3,500 can come buy this one if you guys want it. It's kind of what I got into it. So, and it's got full nitrous kit. It's a fun car. And I've been dailying it, but I think I need to slim my herd and focus on the cars that I have that I really want to work on. So anyways, hopefully I'll make something more exciting tomorrow, and my heart will be in filming. I'll just be kind of back in my groove a little bit more. And I'm going to try to film some cool stuff tomorrow. I have a double header coming tomorrow, so I have 2 cars coming for Dyno Tunes. One of them's a Integra, and one of them is a SRT4. So hopefully I'll film some of that stuff. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And yeah, sorry for bitching, blabbing, fucking boring ass videos, but maybe one day this channel will be really cool. Like I could make it. It's just hard for me to do it. So yeah. Anyways, have a great night and a better tomorrow. Hopefully this RSX will be tearing ass pretty soon on the dyno. Yeah, this car also has a bad transmission, and I figured the filter just fell out of the pan. But nope, I pulled the filter, and it was attached. So this tranny's junk. Otherwise, I would just beat the shit out of this thing for a daily. I don't know. It's like, I have a problem. I have a problem with too many cars, and I want to do them all right now, and I don't have patience, and yeah, whatever. Have a great night and a better tomorrow. We'll see you later. And stay safe, happy, and healthy, guys. Have a great night.